Have you ever found yourself sitting quietly in your favorite chair, perhaps with a cup of tea or just gazing out the window, and wondered why life feels calmer on the outside, yet heavier inside? After decades of giving your time, your energy, your love, and your wisdom to family, friends, and work, you might expect a sense of deep peace. And yet, sometimes the heart feels restless, carrying unspoken questions, old worries, or memories that won't fade. You may have achieved so much, seen so many seasons, and yet, there are quiet moments where you ask yourself, have I truly lived for me? Have I let go of what no longer serves me? Or am I still holding on to invisible burdens? These are thoughts that rarely get spoken about, and for many, they quietly shape the way the later years of life feel. But here's the gentle truth. There are certain things, certain silent truths, that once recognized and released can transform your remaining years into a chapter of unmatched peace and clarity. Today, we will explore 7 of these truths. Truths that most people never talk about, but once you understand them, they can gently lighten the weight you have been carrying for decades. This is not about regret or guilt or changing your past. It's about creating space for peace right now. So, take a slow breath, relax your shoulders, let yourself feel that it is safe to reflect, to let go, and to embrace this new chapter of life. Now, let us walk together, one gentle truth at a time. Before we gently begin exploring these truths, remember, this is not a lesson, and there is nothing to rush. Each idea is a quiet realization, a small key to unlocking calmness in your heart. Take your time and allow yourself to absorb each point fully. Truth number 1. You are no longer needed the way you once were. And that is not a loss. There was a time when your presence was essential in almost every situation. People depended on your decisions, your guidance, and your strength. Life revolved around responsibilities that only you could handle. Over time, things naturally changed. Children grew up, learned to manage their own lives, and the world continued moving forward. This shift can sometimes create a quiet feeling of being less important. That feeling, although natural, is not the full truth. What has actually happened is not a loss of value, but a release from constant responsibility. Earlier years demanded action and control, while this stage offers space and freedom. Instead of constantly solving problems, there is now an opportunity to focus on personal peace. Accepting this change allows the heart to relax. Slowly, the need to prove one's importance fades, and a deeper sense of self-worth begins to grow from within. With this change also comes a hidden gift that many people do not immediately recognize. When responsibilities reduce, time begins to open up in a new way. This time is not empty, it is full of possibilities that were once delayed. Simple moments like sitting in sunlight, enjoying a quiet meal, or reflecting without pressure start to gain value. Earlier in life, these small experiences were often ignored because there was always something more urgent to do. Now, life gently invites you to slow down and notice them. Feeling less needed does not mean becoming less meaningful. Instead, it creates a chance to reconnect with yourself. This stage allows you to discover who you are without roles, without expectations, and without constant demands. That realization can bring a calmness that was not possible before. Truth number 2. Some relationships will never give you closure. Life does not always offer neat endings. Certain relationships fade away without explanation, leaving behind unanswered questions. There may have been moments where words remained unspoken or situations were never fully understood. The desire for closure is very natural, as the heart seeks clarity and resolution. However, waiting for answers that may never come can quietly hold a person back. True healing begins when one accepts that not every story will have a proper ending. Peace does not always depend on explanations from others. It often comes from within, through acceptance. Choosing to release expectations instead of holding on to them allows emotional weight to slowly lift. Rather than waiting for someone else to complete the story, it becomes possible to close that chapter with understanding and calmness. Before we move on, I want to ask you a gentle question. Is there a relationship in your life that ended without closure and you still think about it sometimes? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. And if this information is helping you, please like, share, and subscribe to the Wisdom Vault. Also, make sure you watch this video till the end because the remaining points are just as important and may protect your health. Truth number 3. Your children's choices are their own journey. A large part of life is spent caring for children, guiding them, and shaping their future. Naturally, that sense of responsibility does not disappear easily, even after they grow up. Concern for their decisions, their happiness, and their struggles can continue for years. However, there comes a point where it becomes important to recognize that their journey belongs to them. Each individual must experience life in their own way, learning from their own choices. Carrying their burdens beyond a certain stage can create emotional exhaustion. Letting go does not mean loving less. It simply means trusting more. Relationships become lighter and more peaceful when they are free from constant worry and control. This shift allows both sides to breathe more freely and maintain a healthier emotional connection. Truth number 4. Life may never feel completely settled. There is a common belief that one day everything will feel perfectly complete. Many imagine a stage where all questions are answered, and every part of life makes sense. In reality, that moment rarely arrives. Even after many years, the mind can still wander through memories, reflecting on different choices and possibilities. This does not mean something is wrong. Life itself is a continuous process, not a final destination. Just like nature never stands still, human thoughts and emotions also keep moving. Accepting that not everything will be fully understood brings a quiet sense of relief. Instead of searching for perfect answers, it becomes easier to appreciate the present moment as it is. Truth number 5. Being right is not always worth the cost. Looking back, there may have been many moments where being right felt very important. Strong opinions, disagreements, and arguments often came from a place of conviction. Over time, however, it becomes clear that some of those moments created distance instead of connection. Relationships sometimes suffered not because the issue was too big, but because neither side chose to step back. Peace often requires letting go of the need to prove a point. Choosing calmness over correctness is not a weakness. It is a form of wisdom that comes with experience. When the need to win fades, the heart becomes lighter, and relationships feel less strained. Holding on to the need to be right can create emotional tension that lasts longer than the situation itself. Small disagreements can grow into long-lasting distance when both sides remain firm. With time, the importance of those arguments often fades, but the emotional gap may remain. Choosing peace over pride does not mean accepting wrong behavior. It means valuing emotional well-being more than temporary satisfaction. Letting go of unnecessary conflicts creates space for understanding and connection. This shift allows relationships to heal naturally. A calm heart finds more comfort and harmony than in proving a point, and that realization brings a deep sense of relief. Truth number 6. You are allowed to change at any age. Many people feel an invisible pressure to remain the same throughout life. Habits, beliefs, and identities often become fixed over time. However, growth does not stop at a certain age. Preferences change, perspectives shift, and priorities evolve. Enjoying quiet moments instead of busy gatherings or choosing simplicity over complexity are natural changes. There is nothing wrong with becoming a different version of yourself. Allowing this transformation removes unnecessary pressure. Living authentically becomes easier when there is no need to hold on to an outdated identity. Change can feel uncomfortable at first, especially when it challenges long-held beliefs or routines. However, personal growth often requires this discomfort. Allowing yourself to adapt to new ways of thinking brings a sense of renewal. Life becomes lighter when you stop forcing yourself to fit into an old version of who you used to be. This freedom allows you to make choices based on your present needs rather than past habits. Over time, this creates a stronger connection with yourself. Living honestly and naturally becomes more important than maintaining an image, and that shift brings a quiet sense of peace. Truth number 7. Peace can feel unfamiliar before it feels comforting. After years filled with responsibilities and constant activity, a slower life can feel unusual. When there is no urgency or pressure, the mind may initially feel restless. This restlessness can create the illusion that something is missing. In reality, what is being experienced is peace in its pure form. Adjusting to this calmness takes time, just like adjusting to silence after noise. Gradually, the quiet becomes comforting instead of uncomfortable. Moments of stillness begin to feel meaningful rather than empty. Over time, this peaceful state becomes one of the most valuable parts of life. Learning to sit with peace requires patience. The mind, which has been used to constant activity, may resist stillness at first. Thoughts may wander, and restlessness may appear without reason. This is a natural adjustment process. Allowing yourself to experience this phase without judgment helps the mind settle gradually. Over time, silence begins to feel safe rather than unfamiliar. Small moments of calm start to feel deeply satisfying. This shift does not happen instantly, but it grows slowly with acceptance. Eventually, peace becomes a natural state rather than something unusual, bringing a deep sense of comfort and emotional balance. Reflecting on these truths reveals something important. Life after 70 is not about holding on tighter to everything that once defined you. It is about gently releasing what is no longer needed. Responsibilities, expectations, and emotional burdens can slowly be set aside, making space for calmness and clarity. This stage of life is not about loss, but about rediscovering inner peace. There is a quiet beauty in living without pressure, without comparison, and without unnecessary weight. If this message brought even a small sense of comfort, please like, share, and subscribe to The Wisdom Vault. Your thoughts and experiences are always welcome, so feel free to share them in the comments. Sometimes your story can become someone else's source of peace. Until next time, take care of yourself and allow life to flow gently, one peaceful moment at a time.